The Alpha Legion are cool, aren't they? Mysterious marines that are probably one of the best parts of Warhammer 40,000. The options are limitless for Alpha Legion armies. Are they traitors, loyalists? Are they the Imperium's best hope, or maybe its worst nightmare? I love it, and I wanted to build an Alpha Legion army. I had the idea for an Alpha Legion force that was mainly loyalist, but with maybe some units that worship the Chaos Gods. I wanted to level up my hobby skills, get better at edge highlighting and basing, and I had the idea of a city infested with crystals, coming out the ground and making the native population choke on some infection. Think Tiberium from Command and Conquer. A green crystal, smashing concrete roads and taking over buildings. That may have been an Alpha Legion plot to get it there. The first thing I did was make bases. I used cork and some crystals you can get from Greenstuff World to make crystals that came out the earth. Then I took some silicon and some resin and cast a bunch up for whatever I needed. I quite liked how they came out. Then I put together a squad to go on them. I chose Plague Marines, mainly because I had an eBay job lot that had 9 2nd edition Plague Marines. And I quite liked them, and I do like Oldhammer stuff. But I needed someone to lead the squad, so I chose a Plague Marine from Dark Imperium who was missing an arm. I gave him a 2nd edition bolt gun and gave some of the older boys some newer touches like bolters and backpacks, and then I had to figure out what kind of scheme I wanted to paint them in. So, I turned to everyone's friend Duncan. I looked at the tutorial on Warhammer TV of pre-Heresy Alpha Legion and I liked what I saw. I put together some test models, of different schemes based on it. I tried just bolt gun metal with contrast paints on top, and then different metals and different other things. The one I eventually settled on was the exact scheme from that tutorial. So it's Stormhost Silver with Gryph-Charger Grey and Achillean Green over it. Then an edge highlight of Stormhost Silver. So it suited my needs of wanting to upgrade, level up I suppose, my edge highlighting. Mainly because I'm kinda rusty at it. I could do it, but I wasn't great. So the practice was really warranted. The models you can see spinning right now have, things on the shoulder pads that I've put on there. I wanted to test out how the new transfers would work, and a specific medium, that's why one of them's, disguised as a salamander. But I liked how they came out, and I tested some stuff on the bases as well and came up with a scheme I was happy with. So the next thing is to put some paint on them. I started out by using Leadbelcher, then Stormhost Silver, just as in the tutorial on Warhammer TV. I might throw it in the description. Then it was Gryph-Charger Grey, and then Achillean Green on these guys. You can see how I did the bases as well. I like the kind of middle one best out of the 3 that were done, and that's what I decided to go with. So after that, everything was given a highlight with Stormhost Silver. Like I say, it was one of the things that I wanted to improve with this army, and I think I've slowly been doing that. I've worked on some more stuff than just these guys, but you'll see those at a later date. But no, I like how they came out. Obviously they're still on the temporary bases there, and given the Alpha Legion used green as a tertiary colour, I did that for the bolter casings and tubes and pipes and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm quite happy with how they came out, and then I did the bases. It was pretty simple. It was Mechanicus Standard Grey with Agrax Airshade Wash and a dry brush with Ulthuan Grey. Then the crystals were Caliban Green, Warpstone Glow, and Moot Green as a highlight with Caliban Green. And yeah, that's what they look like when they were finished. And I'm really pretty happy with how they came out. I think for a good test squad they came out exactly how I wanted. They're not too nurgly, but they're, I think, especially with the leader, you can kind of tell they're Plague Marines, and they do have little bits and pieces of corrosion and stuff on them. Not overly heavy. I didn't want them to look like they were, full on Plague Marines, so I kind of deconverted the modern Plague Marine there, just to stop them look so, mutated as they do these days. But I think it gives the illusion of, yeah, they're definitely Alpha Legionnaires, but maybe they're a bit more nurgly than perhaps they would be otherwise. Yeah. So I think the 2nd edition models actually held up really really pretty well. They are all monopose, but that doesn't bother me. I actually found them quite a good opportunity for conversion. Like, you can see them there in some sort of beauty shot type thing, and I am happy with how they came out. There's a surprising amount of convertibility and posability in monopose models. That you can see one of them's got like one of the bolters from the Betrayal at Calth set, and one of them's got a second edition Marine backpack. But when they're on the board, and I have played some games with them, they don't all look the same. You can tell they're different, and I like that I have one modern guy leading them, and that I gave him the second edition bolt gun, mainly to tie it back. I like old Warhammer stuff, and I'm really glad I put together the unit this way. They were a really fun project for conversion and to paint up, and I'm glad they were my first squad, mainly because the scheme's a bit kind of difficult. The stuff I've been doing since is like Chaos Marines and some Terminators and that sort of thing, and they have been significantly more difficult to do, mainly just because of the amount of highlighting in them. So given that these guys were my first squad, I'm really happy with how they came out, and I hope to use them quite a lot. That's 5 of the old boys there, probably about my age actually. It's really weird to think that there are models in my collection that are about the same age as me. It's interesting, but yeah, the scheme it was a real challenge. The contrast stuff I'd never worked with before, and I was really happy with how it came out. I think that it can be used really well, but for what Games Workshop kind of design it for, to be easy, I'm not entirely sure it works amazingly well for that. I think for doing a scheme like this, like metallic metals and stuff like that, metallic colours, I think it works really well for. But I'm not entirely sure how I would like to do well, this is a full army, but I wouldn't like to do, a non-metallic army with it, I don't think. I think at that point, traditional painting kind of looks a bit better. But for this, it works really well. And I really like how they came out. And I think the modern paint job really makes these old miniatures sing. I'd love to hear what you think about it. I like them, and I know my highlighting and my painting's definitely improved since I started this project, especially my basing, and I'm really quite happy with them. So yeah, I'm hoping to have one of these out pretty much every week, and I'd like to hear what you think about them. The next thing I'll probably put up is the Chaos Space Marines I did, the troop squad as opposed to Plague Marines. But yeah, that's my squad of Plague Marines. Thank you very much for watching. It's been a good project, and I hope you'll stay around for a bit more of it.